You mentioned that you talked about how Harry Potter had a family feel. And I wanted to ask you, like, how did that come about in the first, like, where did the auditions come from? Like, how did that become a part of your life?
Yes. So I did not go to a performing arts school. I'd never done anything. I never acted professionally, but they did like a basically countrywide search to find Harry, Hermione and Ron. And so they asked my school if they wanted to submit any students who loved drama who wanted to audition. And so I was one of, I think, about 12 students that was asked if I wanted to audition. I don't know. It was weird. I had this weird, weighted, fated sense of destiny pretty much from the moment that they mentioned the audition. I remember I brought, I think, maybe like 7 different Beanie Babies with me along, and like all these different like lucky talismans. And I loved the world and the books so much. My dad had been reading them to me before bed when I would spend the weekends with him, and on long car journeys. We'd often drive back and forwards to France, and that's how the time would be passed. And so I was just like, loved the world, loved Hermione. And for me, it wasn't so much about acting so much as it was that like, the books meant so much to me personally.
Did you feel like it was destiny for you, or did you always feel like it was going to be this?
Because
obviously the books were already, you know.
I always felt like Hermione I knew I was never auditioning for anything else. Like, I knew it was her. I don't know how to explain it. Something felt right about it. And my poor parents, because if I hadn't have got it, I think they knew how crushed I ended up doing 9 auditions over a period of over a year and a half, which for a 9-year-old is
a lot of work.
A massive commitment. But I loved her. I loved it. I really did.
What do you wish now that you would have known before you became Hermione?
I did a pretty good job, and I give my mother specifically credit for this. She was like a warrior for my normalcy and for me having an ordinary life and going to school. And no one wanted that. I mean, it would have been considerably easier if I had not continued going to school. But like, I will forever be in her debt. She somehow knew that me feeling part of the ordinary world and feeling I had a place in it and that I belonged outside of those films was going to be crucial.
Wow, that's really incredible.
It was, because she basically didn't have anyone on her team. She was kind of on her own on that one. And she fought tooth and nail. She was like on the phone for hours saying she has to sit her exams, she has to go back, like she needs to be here, she needs to have some parts of a normal childhood. And yeah, forever in her debt.
That's so special to have had that and have those, to have a parent who can like foresee, like, and you can't see anything for yourself. You're
and to be honest, I didn't really get it.
No, of course.
If I'm going to be honest, I was like, okay, like, I guess it's important. Like, I'm not, I didn't really get it. So I think, she was amazing.
Yeah. Because from what I was reading, from what you shared with me, when did Emma Watson and Hermione and the characters that then followed start to get blurred and intertwined? Because that expectation that comes with, I remember this and I share it because to give it to context to people, I was walking down the road with one of my friends who's an actor who gets recognized 100 times for every one time I get recognized. So just put it in context. And so if we're walking down, like, this person will get stopped 100 times for pictures and then I'll get stopped once. And it was really beautiful because we'd spent a day together and that person had been stopped 100 times and maybe I'd been stopped a couple of times. And then they said something to me. They said, Jay, Jay, you're really lucky. And I said, what do you mean? And I thought they were going to say, because I'm anonymous to some degree. But they didn't. He said to me, he goes, Jay, you're really lucky, because he goes, when people stop me, they stop me for who I play to be. And when they stop you for who you are. And it was really encouraging words from someone that I respect a lot. And I was like, wow, like I never thought about it like that. It hadn't hit me how different it was.
Yeah.
And because I think you just see fame or success or whatever it is, this one big bubble of stuff, especially when you're not that close to, or you don't know too much about it. And it was that conversation that made me be even more personal with everyone that I ever spoke to, because they'd always have a personal story, or and that's not to say that isn't true for music and for acting. And of course there is. I don't want to take away from it.
No.
And I'm not saying that as a egotistical statement. I'm saying it as like how hard it is for an individual to go through that.
Yes.
And to be disassociated from themselves.
Yes.
Because that role could be a part of you. It could be an expression of you. It was a part of your life at a certain period of time, but of course it isn't you.
Yes.
But does that make any sense?
I remember when I gave my UN speech about he for she and about feminism and women's rights, and people started stopping me because of things that I had come from me and that I'd said. It felt like a very significant transition for me, because for the first time, I felt like I could look someone in the eye and receive and accept something that they were saying, because I felt like it actually had something to do with me. And I wasn't just kind of a custodian of something sacred, which I did take very seriously, and I still do, but it had been a direct transmission from me. And I think that's why writing has become so important to me, is because it's a way that I can say things directly, and that feels really meaningful.